Boeing 737 MAX has been cleared to resume flying by the FDA, or the FAA rather, 20 months after it was grounded following two fatal crashes. Yahoo Finance's Emily McCormick has been following this story, and she joins us now. I guess, Emily, the question is, which airlines are going to be placing orders to put this thing back in the air?
Absolutely, Alexis. That is going to be one of the big questions here for Boeing going forward, just following this FAA announcement this morning. Now, I want to also note that this does open up Boeing's ability to deliver planes that it's already had on order and still in the company's possession as well. Now, just amid all this news, do want to call attention to Boeing's share price action. We do see shares of that stock actually trading just slightly lower. They had been up as much as 5.9% earlier today following the announcement. And I do want to highlight that the company does still have to go through a number of procedures in order to actually get this plane back in the air. Now, as the FAA actually said, the company does need to install new software on all of the aircraft and also instill pilot training. That does take additional time since pilots may need to actually go through simulators. That's something that Boeing has also recommended, and it's also a step further than using a computer program in order to complete this training. Now, Boeing must also fix a wiring issue that's separate from the problem that had brought down those two flights in 2018 and 2019. And it also must de-preserve the aircraft that it has had on hand since those have been sitting idle for so long. Remember that this was a 20-month grounding of this aircraft. Now, also want to highlight the resumption of flights and deliveries of the MAX is going to be critical for Boeing, especially given its weak order book so far this year amid the dual crisis of the pandemic and the 737 MAX groundings. So far this year, I want to note that Boeing has removed from its order backlog or outright canceled 1,043 737 MAX jets from that order book. It also reported zero new sales in October, an extension from what we actually saw in months earlier this year as well. I also want to highlight that today's news does not change the fact that air travel demand is still highly depressed by the pandemic. So that will continue to exert downward pressure on Boeing's customers, even when it comes to the fact that the 737 MAX can actually get back up in the air. Now, that said, some of Boeing's airline customers have already said today that they're working to get the 737 MAX back on their schedules. We had American Airlines saying that they're taking a phased approach to return the jet to service. It plans to begin non-commercial flights in early December and then resume twice daily scheduled service flights starting on December 29th, and then in early January begin to phase in even more flights out of its hubs. And then now Southwest, which is Boeing's largest global 737 MAX operator, that company is set to restart its own commercial flights in the second quarter of 2021. So again, some light at the end of the tunnel here for Boeing. Still some hurdles it will have to overcome to get these planes back in the air. But for now, again, seeing those shares trading slightly lower and still down 35% for the year to date. Alexis.
All right. Thanks, Emily.